Good morning, traders. Are you guys ready for another day? I'll tell you what, I got 3 trades all in the green right now, and the swing trade action's looking good because you know it. It's trade the pool time. What's going on, traders? I'm going to tell you guys about ASNS here. ASNS here, guys. This is the morning penny stock of the day. Of course, it's up a whopping 791%. Money Mitch coming after it this morning, making a good cushion for myself, up about 181 already, and it's all on this stock right here. I am in right here at 416. I was in at like 413s. Took some profits multiple times in the 440s, was looking for the run to 5, but not getting it right here. I'm going to give it a penny more here, but a drop back into the 413s, and I'll just get out right now, and we'll look for it towards the bell. I don't want to lose money on this as I already made a really good substantial gain to start the day. What's going on, traders? Let me know what's your top watch today. And there's the 414s. I'm just looking at the bid here. It's at 12s. Let's see if it cuts down here. I'm just going to go ahead and get out here. All right, not much action there. It's just holding on for a second. All right, guys, that's my call to get out. There, you guys see it. Boom, taking it out. Taking a little bit off there, 16, but not going to let it go down and then lose, right? Took a really nice gain to start the day and a nice little cushion. But the best news really doesn't even come from that. It comes from the swing trade side of things this morning. So I definitely want to tell you guys a little bit about what's going on there. You guys see it, the positions that are on. We got Delta on for the short side, and that was given right here yesterday for the swing trade account, guys. I want to show you guys that. That's looking really good right now, and I'm going to continue to see what happens there. Of course, I also took another trade that I want to tell you guys about. And let's go ahead. Let's talk a little bit about these positions. DAL up a substantial amount. 5097 was my original entry there. CLSK, the next stock that I took this one on a long. I talked about this one throughout the time. Look, I even drew the trade here. You guys see the lines. This was created on 529. 529, guys. I was talking about potentially CLSK coming back to 16 before it wanted to come back to 18. So this is the type of swing trade that I really love. We'll see what happens here, guys. Clean spark swing trade. Delta to the short side. We got a lot of news to get through. So say hello in the chat, especially if you're new, and smash those like. Let's keep it going, guys. Welcome to the trading action. All right, let's see what else is being mentioned in the chat. What's going on? Trader Prad, what up out there, guys? It's good to see you. Yes, Money Mitch all day. You guys know where you're at. What's your account's initial balance? Which one? Which one? Are we talking about the day trading? Are we talking about the swing trading? I got multiple accounts, guys, and you guys can see them here. I'll even show you them. So let me go ahead and I can detach this to kind of show you it, right? And I'm always willing to show you guys my accounts, right? That's one thing I always want to show you. Lori, you can see it here. I'm down about 286, but I've been up and down in that account. That's the day trading one that you're asking about. That's this top one right here. And the big part about that one is that I've been up about 1,000. I've been down about like 600. I've been like kind of what I call in the survival stage right now in the day trading eval account. And what do I mean? That just means I'm winning and losing. And right now, my average profit to loss ratio shows up at a 2.8. And we can talk a little bit about that later today. What I will do is I'll go through some account statistics for you guys. And I think it's so important to go through them. We can go through them here. We can use, of course, the statistics right here that Trade the Pool offers for you on the platform. So stick around. I definitely will show you that. All right, let's get to the action. Let's take a look at what else is going on. Of course, Clean Spark will be one of my top watches today. Let's keep battling. Coin short today. What I mean is the account size you purchase. I did the super buying power. So the super buying power for the day trade side of things, I think it's for me, it's like the the best bang for the buck, right? I'm always going to tell you guys how I feel, whether that be, 100%. No, of course, trade the pool probably want you to get the biggest account. I'm going to tell you guys what I felt works for me. I'm on the super buying power, of course, for the swing trade also. So, of course, I have the extra buying power for the day trade. That's the name of it. It's 160,000, right? The max loss is 3,900. I'm nowhere near that. And I think that that's important too, guys. I can even show you guys the account. I don't mind showing you guys it. Let's take a look right quick. You guys see it right here. You guys can see how I've been battling. You guys can see how I kind of gotten up above, gotten below, back down, just trying to battle here, guys. You know what I mean? And that's what matters to me, guys. And then what really is important is this right here. So this is the things that I try to pay attention to. The risk and reward ratio and the success rate is really going to determine how I'm trading. I want this closer towards 30 and 40% on success. And I want the risk to ratio to be at 1.1 to 3. So it's at 2.6. So I'm actually pretty close. So what does that mean? That means if I'm only about like 30% accurate, I'll still be in the green, guys. And I think that this is the important thing. Let's take a look at the coin short idea. Not a bad idea, but of course, I'm long CLSK. So I would be thinking coin to the upside. But hey, that's just my mentality, Kevin. So you can have a mentality to short an area that I'm looking at to the long side. I see this stock as kind of building up on a daily, trying to break out. So I understand if you're trying to play that failed breakout attempt multiple times to try to get through this 250. This is now going to go ahead and start to try to maybe attack that 250. So I'll be watching for that move. All right, what's going on out there? Smoke Tuna, what's up out there? Lloyd's, I like the way you're presenting. Keep this shit up. Hey, you know it. I forgot the beep there, but don't worry. Hit the like button. There's one thing that's for certain, guys, is I'm going to show you guys how it is. That's one thing that we want to do here. That's the number one thing for me, is always for you guys to feel this is transparent, that you guys are getting value and actually learning here. Because if you're not, let me know. Like I talk about it, I'm always here to pay it forward for you guys. Let's keep it going. Smoke Tuna, let me know the stocks out there you're looking at. And El Don in the house. I always love seeing my man El Don. It's a must in the chat. All right, guys. Smoke Tuna, where's the plays today? Where's the moves? All right, let's take a look at some of these smaller names today. Of course, ASNS is one that's the major play of the day. Was able to nail it this morning. There's other small plays making the moves. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at AXTA. This is another one, aerospace stock, getting a big push. And of course, this one recently had a split. So I just want to mention that. This one made a run to $3 just recently and has come from $1. So it's been a big run. This is up 198%. We'll see what happens with this one. And of course, yesterday's big move, MLGO. What a move this was, guys. This thing was all the way up there to 13s. I was watching it there at 12, thinking that maybe you could short it overnight. And that's exactly what happened there. It was a hard trade if you wanted to short it. But look at that, overnight from 13 down to 8. These are the types of swing trades that could really make an account on the swing trade side of things. So we'll see what happens on that MLGO. And we'll take a look at some of the small caps. Looking at the beaten small caps, says Smoke Tuna. Let's get to the action. MFI, ASN, MITQ. Let's take a look at two of those at least. I've already taken a look at some of them. MFI, application. I like that this is doing kind of that 1, 2, 3. On the fourth drive failed. So that's what's that called? For us technical analysts out there, that's the ABCD move, right? And now we're going through the correction phase, which usually comes with a pullback, a push up, one more pullback that doesn't break through this low and then starts to drive back towards that 240s. So that's what I'll be looking at on that end of things. And I can also look at it on an hourly basis to see if we can hold support. So maybe we get a wick through the 206, a wick to maybe the $2 spot, and then a recovery. That's what I'll be looking at out the gates. It's a lot of the times what I look for is washouts to wash out the bulls. Then the bigger bulls come in and take the show. Of course, today you guys are seeing me rock my 8 jersey. And what is this? This is that Mamba mentality, guys. And I want to tell you guys, of course, about one of my favorite athletes, Kobe Bryant. If you guys don't know Kobe Bryant, well, you've probably been living in a cave, but one of the major things that he believed in was Mamba mentality. And what's the Mamba mentality? Is that you got to put in the work every single day to get to success. So if you want to find success, guys, one thing that I will tell you guys is that it's not just a one action type of thing. This is why I talk about discipline being an action. This is the number one quote I want you guys to remember today, because what does that mean? It means to be disciplined is a repeated act of that action. It's not that you just say you're disciplined, work to that discipline, right? So every single day, try to create the action of being disciplined so that you could actually say, I'm a disciplined trader. And this is so important if we're all looking for success. The number one thing that I see drives and hurts traders and drives them crazy is that they can't stay consistent. They can't trade consistent on the execution. So that's the number one thing that I want you guys to figure out. If you guys are beginner traders, how can I be consistent with my trading? A lot of that is building the Mamba mentality. Let's keep it going, traders. Let's take a look at what else is making moves in the market. Nailed MLGO, 29% gain. Get it, bullseye. Get it, my friend. All right, let's see what else is trading out there. HPE, yes. Of course, big gap up on HPE. Let's talk a little bit about some earnings stocks here. HPE up a pretty good amount this morning, right? Let's take a look at the earnings here. It climbed 15%, better than expected fiscal quarter. And this one did the classic where it actually declines into the earnings. So you can see here on kind of Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday comes back, Friday, it gets knocked down. It recovers pretty quickly. And now it's on like kind of that gap up move. HPE, big move up. I'd be looking at potential pullbacks towards this level to hold, right? $20, because if you don't hold that, then you know that the decline could come right back into this kind of 19 area. The sweet spot for dip buys, I think, would be somewhere in that range, right? Somewhere between the 20 and the 19 spot. But if you already have it and you're looking for this to keep going, I'd be looking for attempts moves down towards 2022 into the VWAP out the gates. But other than that, this should look like it wants to take 21 pretty quickly here out the gates. If it really wants to keep moving, that's the move I'd be looking for, especially a move back above this 5-minute trend line, which you keep bumping up against and fighting around the 2050 spot. So there's a lot of kind of selling pressure towards this kind of 2050 to 2070 spot. Get through that level. That's where I'll be watching the tape to see what happens if anybody wants to step up in that area. That's HPE, an earnings stock, making a big move, right? And there's not only one that's making a big move. CrowdStrike also making a big move. And this one's the interesting one. I always love when you get these kind of fake down moves with the algos down to 293, and then the next candle on the 5-minute, you're back to 314. Be careful with that after hours action, guys. That can tear up your kind of trading, because the truth is if you're long there, how do you hold on a move like that goes to 276? That's a tough move to hold through. That's how the algos wash you out. Next thing you know, the stock's back up, and you'd be kicking yourself if you got out on a long on CrowdStrike, got out of the 290s because you respected your stop. Now it's at 336, 340s. That just goes to show you got to be careful with these, especially with CrowdStrike and bigger stocks like this. A lot of times what I'll look at is the daily support going to come into play with that after hours move? And look how when you went through that kind of 310 level, there's this prior resistance that was acting as support through this whole period that started acting as support again. So now let's look at that resistance and see if that can start to hold. That's around the 333 levels. So that's going to be the area that I'd be watching from. Pullbacks, 334, 333, somewhere in this range right here. Let's see if we get a pullback into that spot and find some new buyers. Pan W is another one to watch with this one. I'd actually be watching for Pan W a recovery of 300. I actually really like this mentality, because if CrowdStrike is going to make a new push, Pan can just turn right back around, and all this kind of wick action could actually be buying pressure on the stock. Let's find out what happens. Big level to watch is 300 recovery. If we can really start coming back through that 300, that's a big level to watch there in Pan W today. I'm going to actually put 299.84s for a week on the alert. We'll see what happens there. All right, let's keep it going, traders. There's a lot of trades out there that we can keep going through. One's an interesting one here today is CART, right? Is K-A-R-T. Is it, where's Instacart? Instacart. Let's take a look here. Why can't I pull it up? Isn't it CART? K-A-R-T? Is it C-A-R-T? Yeah, it's right here. It's C-A-R-T. It's Maple Bear. This is the one that I'll be looking at today a little bit to see if this can actually start getting a nice little push. It actually got a nice upgrade to buy from hold from the research firm Gordon Haskett. So I'm going to be watching to see if this can start recovering today. Of course, within ratings, it should at least have some attention today. Above the 31s kind of makes sense. Really looking for it to take out this levels to the left-hand side, 31.25 to 31.04. I think you'll get a little peek through, but that could be a little bit of a trap. I'm looking for the move through the 31.25. I'll let you guys know what I see on this one. And of course, yesterday we got a little bit of a turnaround there in NVIDIA. For a second there, I was actually shorting NVIDIA and had a good trade there. And then it reversed right back up there towards that 1,882. At some point, this is going to be a quick reversal down. We're almost to the 1,200 spot. Look at the RSI climbing, guys. RSI for NVIDIA is so important here, guys, because we're starting to get towards the extreme overbought area. And once we start to peak past this level over here, this 92, that's really where I think that you'll start to see that kind of turnaround. So I'm looking for one more drive on NVIDIA, and then we'll probably start to look for the decline in NVIDIA. And this is something that we'll be watching towards the end of summer. Qualcomm also was one that I was looking at yesterday for a little bit of a decline. It did decline for a little bit in the market. I was able to take a little bit of profit, and then it started ripping back. So watch out there. You could get some tech run today. We'll see what happens. AMD is a big watch for me. Intel's been putting out new AI conversation, and they've been going nowhere. So that doesn't look good there. Definitely smash the like, guys. Deere is one that I want to pay attention to because they put out plans to cut some salaried workforce. So we'll see if industrials can get a little bit of a bounce, but they've been getting destroyed after, of course, demand has been falling off the tape for farming products, right? These heavy construction machinery. CAT has been falling down fast. Picard is another one that's in this very space. We'll see what happens to these stocks today. But like always, you can always take a look at it through the sector, right? The industrial sector. You can see here, it was on a big ride up, and now it's just taking a pullback. It could always catch another lift. All right, catching up with you guys in the chat. What's going on out there? I got them Kobe reverse Grinch. Nike could pop, but the range is small. Let's take a look at Nike. Nike, what I would be watching is this gap to close. I actually drew this already. I drew this on the 31st. So we were looking at this just a couple days ago, right? Can this close the gap to the upside? I kind of like it. I don't mind this one at all, Noli. One thing that I look at when I try to see this kind of reversal pattern, I want to see big volume coming in also. That's where I get a little bit concerned. But recently, just on the turn there, what do you see? A nice little pop in volume. So that could have been where the buyers, at least position traders, are trying to play towards this gap. This is definitely on the radar. I'm even going to put it on the radar for today. You can see the bunch up on the 15. You're trying to get through that 95.27. Maybe we could get a little bit of a test down towards 94.75, but I'm going to look for this one to kind of push out the gates. We'll set the alert at 95.27 to see if it starts taking out some highs and making a move to 95.50. So that's kind of the area that I'll be watching there on Nike. Smash like out there, guys. You guys know where you're at. It's trade the pool time. We're going to keep battling into the open. It's 9:21. You guys know where you're at. It's trade the pool, guys. Let's keep it going. Let's find out what else is making moves in the market. I do have my trade idea scanner that we can go through. I see some other stocks gapping up a good amount. Stitch Fix, SFIX. The Stitch Fix making a move today up there towards the $3. This was an earnings stock that what we were looking for. Similar move in a Nike, looking for the gap to fill, right? We're watching this to see if it filled that gap. It did fill that gap. It was a great fill there in the after hours, right? We'll see what happens now. Can it hold that gap? $3 pulled back, did hold this morning. Stitch Fix, of course, apparel store. We'll see what happens on this one. I don't trade Stitch Fix often, but I'll keep an eye on it, guys. We'll see what happens up there to 345s in the pre-market. Nice little declining trend line. Of course, plenty of people can see that one. We'll see if it gets to the 320. All right, let's keep it going. What are the ones that are making moves this morning? I'm looking around, guys. A lot of action. Do you trade the TQQQ? I mean, I can trade it all, guys. That's one thing that I don't shy away from. That's just the pro shares, right? So that's the opposite of the SQQQs. So that's just leverage. You can also look at maybe just trading SOXS or SOXL, right? Now you're talking more the semiconductors itself. So SOXL was one that I was looking at yesterday. Do you guys remember me trying to buy it down here at the 46.74? Well, that would have been a great level to even buy it towards the close, because at 335, you went right back to it and rocketed right off of that level. Speaking of rockets this morning, I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to be maybe wrapping up at 950 here, at 950, at 1050 today. There's a reason why, guys. Well, a big part of it is Boeing. Boeing, guys, will be actually having a rocket going off here in Cape Canaveral. You can see while this rocketed towards the close, I'm going to give a little bit of a pun there, but watching Boeing, you're going to be rocking the Starliner, right? So we'll see what happens. It's a manned ship. You guys can watch it also, of course. Let me see what happens with Boeing today. I want to watch the rocket, man. There's one thing being in Cape Canaveral. I get rockets literally in my backyard, guys. I can just literally go to the backyard and watch it launch off. We'll see if the stock launches off today. Definitely smash the like, guys. Let's take a look at what else is making moves. Of course, real estate has been hot. Real estate stock that I liked yesterday that I did not swing trade, but definitely looking at it today is AMT, American Tower Corp. This is one of the leaders in the space, and a big part of this is a weekly and monthly chart that is really starting to kind of prop here, right? And so what I want to see at this is start making a move back up through here, start working its way to 210, 220s. This doesn't look too bad off the 200 and the 190 risk. We'll see what happens with this one. Definitely a REIT, so this is something that I'd be looking for a longer term swing, but not a bad one to keep an eye out. And of course, you guys see my swing trades right now, still in the green, still battling, and took a nice trade on ASN today. Not a bad one at all. Taking some profits already this morning and looking to keep it going. Let's go, team. Let's see what else is making the moves and what we can come up with. Gold and basic materials on a quick decline here. So be careful on the basic materials coming down fast, guys. So that was a big, heavy decline yesterday. Could continue to come down like gold. We'll see what happens. I know that it had that glitch the other day, so I'm going to stay away from that. But it's good to see you guys in the chat. If you're new to the show, what are you waiting for? Say hello, guys. It's good to see you. All right, let me take a little sip here. It's 9:25, getting ready for the bell. And let's take a look at some other names that I have on the radar for the swing trade account. And I'm going to keep taking some swings, guys. Swings is my bread and butter. A lot of the swing trade action, what I want to be focusing on is really nailing down that 3-to-1 approach, right? The same way that I take my day trades, I want to take the swings, right? And the big part of that is nailing it down. So let's talk a little bit about the DAL trade here. Let's talk about Delta and how I'll be trying to take some profits here. So the big part of it is I shorted yesterday right towards that 51 breakdown, right? So we got that 51 breakdown. It went down there towards 49.30s. I'm looking for a takeout of the 49s, as that would be a $2 risk down to the downside. Right now you can that $2, and I'd be risking about maybe 50 cents on this now, right? I was risking up there towards the 51.50s, 51.60s. It's about 60 cents, but I'm okay with that action. I'm looking for the cut down through the 49s. I will take majority of it off there and then leave the remainder to run to see if it just keeps cracking down on the daily and eventually taking out this low is 48.28. And a big part of this, also want to see American Airlines continue to decline. This will show me that I timed it right. And UAL is another one that I could come after today if I want to double dip and looking for the day trade, or maybe something that I can trade to the short side. UAL also on the radar for me. Why? Because it's going to trade very similar. If DAL is going to break down there, I have a feeling UAL will do the same. UAL has this kind of like head and shoulders pattern here. You can see kind of the head, the left shoulder, the right shoulder. Now we need to go and break this neckline. Need to start coming down fast towards the 50. Let's see what happens today in UAL. Even out the gates, this is one I'll keep on the radar. Let me go ahead and set an alert here for us to get alerted when this starts to break. All right, no swing for me. Hey, it's okay. If you don't want to swing trade, hey, power to you. You can always do the day trading action of things. I'll tell you right now, for me, it just works. Like swing trading, just like it's so daily charts, so technical focus, so market economic focus, that's a big focus for me. Now today, of course, private payrolls growth slows to 152,000 in May, much less than expected on ADP. So that could weigh on the market, right? But it's nothing that is a negative, right? At least for the time being, the market's shaking it. So we'll see what happens later in the day. At 10 a.m., we will be getting some more numbers coming in, and you will be getting some oil numbers that come in today. So a lot of times, this is when you could get the swing right back up. Big wick on XOM. Let's see if we go and we just fill the gap. So this is a gap play on a daily outlook. Can we just come right back to the 114.50s today? I definitely think that could happen. You can see here how this has been holding a trend line, working its way back. It could break that and come down, or bounce right off of that, come right back up to the 114 level. There's always two ways to look at this, because this is a bearish flag pattern, right? Because you also have a trend line on the top end side of things. So there you guys see it, how it's a bear flag. Let's see if it breaks down through it or starts to work its way back towards that 114. You can look at Valero also. If we start to get an up move in oil today, I'll be watching for Valero and maybe make a move to 159. I like Valero. I like the way it trades. I've made really great money swing trading Valero. The big part is that it has a tendency of trending in one direction. So you can see here how the light blue line kind of follows it. Lately, it's been on a downtrend. Will it reverse the trend that it is kind of like it was here, where it reversed the trend and all of a sudden it took off, right? Well, these are the plays that I look at. Valero definitely in play today. All right, catching up with you guys in the chat. What's up out there, guys? XLE had a fantastic dip. You guys know what it is. There's the alarm. There's the market. Let's go, time. It's time. Let's get after it, team. What do you guys got out there? Let me know what you guys are seeing in the market. Of course, ASN going to be a big one on the radar. I'm watching right now XTI. XTI had a big move up this morning. We'll see if it takes the next leg up. It's holding the $2 spot right now. Can it go back to 3 and hold this 190 spot? Doesn't look too bad because there's a support right here at the 184 spot. We'll see what happens. This one's a quick trade. You're trying to trade it right out the gates here. All right, there's the 180s test. Let's go see if it goes the red to green here. So tap 180s, tap 175, recover 184s, back through 2. I'll be watching. So you see right here, this is that kind of undercut. So I wanted to wash out some traders, almost make an attempt towards this next low. So that's a pull back into this spot right here, then a move right back out through the 2s. So that's what I'm watching right now on XTIA. All right, Nike giving me some alert to the upside, UAL crossing down. So those are plays that I'll be watching, right? UAL to the downside, DAL to the downside. We'll see what happens on these. Of course, UAL is one that I'm going to watch out the gates here, guys. I like this one. All right, let's go ahead. Let's take a look here. Maybe I'll take a shot right here out the gates. All right, already declining good there on UAL. In a little bit, I'll be joined by Tim. So smash the like, guys. I'm definitely interested in taking some profits on the day trade side of things. Right now, I am getting a decline in Clean Spark. So I got to keep an eye out on that to see if I can get the next lift in Clean Spark. But of course, you guys know I've been taking these day trades on these names. I'm going to keep watching them. And of course, what was that other one we were watching? XTIA. Boom. Let's see that 180. There's that 180 attempt to break down. Let's see if it just starts coming back to the $2 spot. I still would look for a little bit more decline. I'm looking for that 175 test here. All right, smash the like, guys. I'm having a great day. I hope you guys are too. Let's get it started in a little bit. When Tim's ready, let me know. You can give me a thumbs up and I'll bring you on, my friend. All right, there's a little bit of a move back there, XTA. We'll see what happens on that one. UAL kind of bouncing around here off this 50s, not really kind of breaking down there. Just got an alert on GPCR. So I'm keeping an eye on this one. This is a biotech that's been making a huge run. Now I think it could make a decline today. This is the type of stock that I can watch to like really kind of wash out today. Let's see what happens here. I'm going to look for a VWAP fade. So that's a move back here towards, let's say, 55. And then I can risk off 56, but not a bad one to watch. I'm going to set the alert. I need it to come back. The spread is wide on this one, so be careful out there, guys. Clean Spark pulling back to the 1619s here. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to actually try to add here and then hold for a tight risk here on Clean Spark. So this is on the swing trade side of things, and I do have a different account, guys, so I'm going to be using another order entry form to make sure that I have the right account information at the top there. All right, so let's try to add another 20 shares. So you guys can watch me do it here. On the bottom left, you guys will see it add in a second here. All right, so I got that 16, kind of 27. I'm going to look for another double bottom towards like 16, 18. We'll give it a little bit of room. We're going to put 16, 15 here. All right, so I just put out that limit order. And of course, what's my average? 16.15. So I'm willing to add maybe even slightly down from that. Let's go ahead and let's add towards the 16.10s today. And then the risk will be down there towards like the 15.90s, 15.80s. So I can keep the risk tight, add to the swing trade, and look to see if it works there. DAL trying to get a next move up here. So I'm going to watch to see that move get rejected. UAL kind of hanging out there too. So we'll see what happens on that. If I take a look at the sectors, I want to take a look at it. Industrials flipping here. I talked about this probably could flip here. I'm going to keep an eye on it. I like that I'm seeing it already get a little bit of a flip there. DE mentioning that they were going to cut some jobs. Maybe this starts to get a little bit of a bounce back today. We'll see what happens. Pakar is another one to watch here. Let's see if that one can start making an up move. It is right now a little bit of a pop here. Maybe a pullback towards the 107.80s seems to make sense here for Pakar for me. I'll take a look at it here. I don't mind this one. Of course, this is industrial play, and it's up right now, 0.19. Down to the downside, real estate, consumer cyclical, and healthcare. Healthcare has been hot lately, so we'll see what happens there. Set an alert here and keep it running here, guys. I will catch up with you guys in the chat. What's going on? Got to go ahead and take a look at some of the opening range breaks. I'm seeing NVVE, one of the top stocks there. So NVVE, it's a dollar play, looking to get back above that $1 spot. This one doesn't look too bad. I'd like the 84, 85 for me. Of course, you guys choose your own entry on this. Could even pull back to the 80 spot right here. You can see how there's 3 resistance tries, right? You can see that pull back. It's held. It kind of did that cut through red to green through that 70s. We'll see if it takes off. All right, guys, just got that Clean Spark ad there, guys. I got that ad there at 1608. So now I can hold off like, let's do this. We're going to do the 1580s there, 1580s on the risk. I'll even do like just slightly down. 77's already set there. added there, 60 shares now. We'll see what happens there on Clean Spark, guys. So taking the shot on that one. All right, let's go back to that other one that I was watching this morning. There's a lot of action going on, guys. Even alerts buzzing here. All right, let's go ahead. Let's bring on the one, the only. Let's bring on Tim, guys. Smash on the like, guys. Hit the like. Where's my Discord friends?
Hey, how's it going, Mitch? How you doing today?
What's going on, Tim? You hanging in there, man?
I am, yeah. So I'll be on a little bit shorter. So I've got a little sore throat. Was out of town and caught a little bug somewhat, but I am excited to be on as always. Let me my cropping is slightly off of me.
All right.
Let's see.
Let's get it going. I could fix it up if anything. Let me know.
No, I'm not going to try to risk something. I'll just sit a little bit back. Otherwise, it's going to be a recipe for trouble. There we go. So,
all right, guys.
Yeah. So I am just kind of putting together my watch list here, looking over things. I was looking at the markets as a whole, and it's interesting, as you were saying, like sector by sector, there's some divergence. I saw the SPY's up, Q's are up, and then a few different names are down still. So see what shakes out in the next few minutes, but yeah, not anything across the board anyway.
Stitch Fix with a good move there. Now back up to the 359. So if you played that VWAP bounce, pretty good move there in Stitch Fix. We'll see what happens now. UAL already dumping, guys. I took my eye off of it, guys. Let's see if I can get this to come back. I'm probably going to add to my DAL. You see how this is kind of breaking down? This makes me want to chase here. But like I said, I would like to day trade UAL to the downside and swing trade DAL to the downside, right? So swing trade is my bread and butter, guys. So this makes me feel confident now. At this point, I won't even lose on this trade on DAL. I'll just let it work or break even, stop me out. And I love those types of positions. They really give you that confidence and hold. So UAL starting to break down there. So now I'm going to look for a move back to VWAP. So if it can come back to 52s, 52.10s, or 52.15s, yeah, I can get short there. So any move back up into this spot, I don't mind getting short. Let's see if it can get back up there. If not, I'm going to look for it to continue to break down, and that'll just help my DAL trade. All right, looking around, MITQ with a little bit of a spike there. This is a dollar play. We'll look to see if this can really start to make a move here. Communications equipment, and of course, ASNS is in that same space, right? This actually went down out the gates there. Woof, that was a turnaround there. All right, looking around, what else is making a move? ASTS, there's a rocket out there today. TSM with a good move in tech, guys. This is actually a big move to look at. Big breakout there in semiconductor. Of course, TSM, that tells me that maybe look for an AMD breakout. I don't know. That just gives me that mentality. So I'm going to be looking for that. Let me see if I can get a little bit of a pullback here on AMD coming back into 162. I like on AMD right now. Of course, you guys choose your own shot, but look at FJF, AMD long. We'll take a look. Smoke tuna. The shot's out. The shot. Safety shot. It's an energy drink. I might need one of those things. I don't know. I don't need much energy, but hey, you know me. All right, looking around, what else is making moves out there, guys? It's always important to kind of catch some moves. So FINV, some smaller names, CSTM coming back after getting really whacked this morning.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to make a note of that for my drinking watch list, though, because I didn't know about that one. Safety shot. So normally I'm on top.
You like the beverages? You like the beverages? Yeah. You like to know them? Hey, well, I always have a list here for you. You know, it's one that I'd put on the radar is the cocoa, man, that Vita Coco. This is one that I like here, Tim. So if you haven't seen this one before, and if you don't know, I actually used to manage 7-Elevens probably about like 6 years ago.
No kidding.
And I watched this company come out. I watched this company start like from day one. So moments like this, you know, this was a $10 company. It's a $28 company now. It's the top kind of coconut beverage that's out there. and pretty much in every grocery store, and
Yeah, I was
every
gonna say
gas
I didn't realize
station.
they're
So
that recent, but
yeah,
yeah, sometime
they're-
I'm gonna have to get your insights then on that, because I would love to hear what you saw from. Were you trading at the time that you were working in
yeah.
a?
Yeah,
Okay.
and the one that I missed on is Celsius, because when it first came out, it struggled. It struggled. I can tell you the sales struggled. It wasn't until they finally changed the narrative that this was the healthy energy drink. Then
Mm-hmm.
people started choosing it over Bang and the other one, the Rain, that was from I think it was from Pepsi. So Coke owned Bang, right? And they actually bought out Bang. So things like this, you don't know where you get Edge, but Edge could be at your gas station, man. It really could be. So open your eyes out there, traders. You never know what you find.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
mean,
looking around,
I have
guys.
part-time bartending, and so that's just like one night a week, and I'd be surprised occasionally there's somebody, they not too often that people really try to have stock tips, but occasionally, and some of them turn out to be good, so I try not to turn up my nose at that. And then also just you hear little things like people just share, we have people come in, builders, and they'll share how construction is, or just all kinds of stuff. So it's I think that's the other key thing, besides finding areas of the market, finding we've talked before about services, or finding sectors that you're experienced in. Don't turn down opportunities to be out in the world and have things kind of come across your desk or come to your notice. It's amazing what you can find out.
Yeah, it really is. Here you guys see me setting up a trade here. I'm trying to go after that MFI, and shout out to my man Smoke Tuna. This is part of his watch list this morning, and I love catching comments in the chat. You guys don't get short on me, guys. And you guys on X right now tuning in, come over to the YouTube side of thing. It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. I'll tell Elon that I sent you. And then we'll take a look at, you guys can tell me what stocks you guys are trading. I always keep a watch out for them. Right now, I'm trying to put in some orders at 215. 215 is a good spot for me. I wanted to hold this 207. Saw it this morning. We talked about it. Undercut, red to green. We'll see if I'm able to get an entry.
I'll have to get it on Rumble too one of these days. Speaking of which, how is my rum do? Ooh, we're back down.
UAL back up.
We're back down under $6 anyway on Rumble. So yeah, it is interesting. Disney down too, and look like it's heading down some more. That's interesting. I wonder if it's entertainment names across the board. But
well, that can also be. How's Netflix doing? Netflix is coming back right now.
I was wondering, yeah, I don't know if Rumble would fall under entertainment names. Let's see how is DJT doing this morning anyway.
MFI filling in there, guys. I just want to let you guys know I do got that long here. We'll see what happens. I'll put you up, Tim, so we can take a look a little bit at your action. Tell us what's going on. What are you seeing in the market? I'll try to nail this MFI.
Well, right now I'm just, like I said, I'm just putting together my watch list a little bit here still, but I just decided to take a look, seeing a move like that on Rumble. But I'll take a look at DJT since I haven't looked at that in a couple days, and it's just kind of puttering around there. Actually, to be honest, it's had a little bit up overnight, but nothing huge. So I think it may have zoom out a little bit. Yeah.
All right, I'm trying to get 52.05 here short on UAL. We'll see if I get the fills here, guys.
Just as a whole, this is just my kind of setup. So
all right, orders are out. Orders out. We'll see if I get a fill, guys.
Carvana. What do you see on Carvana? We're not gonna try to not in a space anymore to say anything too detailed, but what do you see on that one there? That looks interesting.
I'll take a look in a second. I'm trying to nail this MFI. Let's see what I can get here, guys. I just got one order to fill of the 500 shares. We're back to the 225, so this is a takeoff spot. I wouldn't even want it to come back towards my level here. It's just like go or no go. Let's see if this wants to start taking off here. Back through the 230s, and you can see the pre-market. First resistance is 250. So that's going to be my first level to look for. Top shares to look for that $3 push here. So not going to take it too crazy, but yeah, definitely I can see the 250 coming into play. We'll look to sell some there and then look for it to keep pushing. We'll see what happens.
Just looking at these movers here. I will say it's kind of interesting when Gil mentioned the idea of the theme, I guess, to me. I was a little surprised. Like I don't go too much for contests. Part of that is just my interest is more in sort of challenging myself. The other thing is, and we've talked about this on the show, we talk about it in the Discord too, is the mindset thing, right? Like letting yourself get caught up in things. But I was like, okay, this is that's something I'm working on, right? Like I have my targets I want to hit, obviously income I want to make, things like that, and working on just kind of separating that from the trades, right? And that was something we got some feedback on the deep dive event. We got a lot of feedback from people saying they loved how you, Mitch, how Michael, you were taking the trades, and just some were winners, some were losers, taking it real professionally, and just focusing on the like I think you need to if nothing else, you need to acknowledge kind of what you're feeling about a trade, because if you try to pretend you're not feeling something, then you can mislead yourself. But it's also good to have that feeling, be excited like something's going well, or like, oh, that didn't work out, and then set it aside, but you still focus on the trade.
So vital, guys. And I think it's so important. One thing is you'll see me come in, win or lose, shake it off, and even sometimes giving yourself a pat on the back on the bad days. Yes, I'll repeat that. A pat on the back on the bad days. What does that mean, Tim? Hey, Tim, if you tell me that, hey, I want to lose $100 a day, right? Like that's what I want to risk, right? And then I look back at your statistics for like 3 or 4 weeks, and now all I see is on the red days, you're losing only 100. Guess what? I think that's a big positive. Big positive. Because the truth is at the end of the day, this is not a game about making Lamborghinis. This is a game about what consistency. I'm going to repeat that. It's not about the Lamborghinis. It's about consistency. So just even giving your pat on the back about consistently losing is actually not a bad thing, because you're consistent about it. What does that mean is that you're sticking to your reward and your loss ratio, and that is what gets us to success. I've seen it. I've seen traders change their mentality, not be so focused about the Lambos, start focusing about their process, and things can turn around.
Yep. And I'll go even further and say this. I would say the people that, we have a lot of people come through the Discord. Some people stay and, kind of become more part of the community, which is great. We encourage everybody to, everybody thinking of trading, trade the pool, everyone who is, take advantage of that. But the people that we see come in and, they're, even if they're posting a lot of big wins, right, but they're not controlling those losses, right? I would go even further and say, hey, that's just as much as like when you are controlling your risk, that's a win. Even if you have a lot of big winners and you're not sticking to your risk plan, or you don't have any kind of idea in mind of where you are on that, I don't know that is a win either. Like the win really is about the mindset, the consistency, and the discipline.
I agree.
And the people that we see come in and they're posting win, like lots of content, not thinking about the downside, not thinking about discipline, things like that. A lot of those people flame out and then they don't come back. A few of them we have go from that mindset, and we've seen them say, and that's where I love the community. We have a whole mindset channel. We talk about strategies, we talk about in other channels, but and those people who take part in the discussions and say, okay, and people say, hey, look, why don't you focus on controlling that downside, focus on how much are you willing to risk, and those people tighten it up. And we've seen some of those people pass, go from flailing around like, oh, I've got these big winners but I can't pass, and go from there to consistent profitability, which is amazing to see.
Snow getting whacked, man. I see you mentioned that in the chat, Noli, and 100% Tim. At the end of the day, guys, try to find what works for you. At the end of the day, and also I'll repeat it, guys, try to find a way to give yourself a pat on the back if you're having the bad days and they're controlled. They're so important, guys. I'll tell you, that's going to keep you in the fight. The number one thing that you see a kind of a new beginner trader struggle and then really kind of fall off the tape is what? They just literally just stop caring about their risk to return. If you do that, I'll tell you right now, guys, what I talk about that's called hero trading, man. Hero trading never helps, man. You play the hero, man, I'll tell you right now, they'll make you a zero real quick.
Yeah. And now, so this is interesting. This ties into we were talking about earlier for the theme for the day, right? So I was actually kind of on top of things. I don't know if you can. I'm a little congested, so I had a pretty bad sore throat. I was like, should I even come on? Whatever. And then I was like, okay, I'll do that. And so I'm like, okay, I don't know if I'll be doing a lot of trading or whatever. But what's real interesting is the last the last week or two, there were a couple of days when I had a bunch of stuff going on. And so I said, okay, I'm not going to take a lot of risk. I'm only going to look for these good trades. I'm not going to put on a lot of size, and those days were actually some of my bigger green days, and okay, if I'd done, 3 times what I had got was, what I went in with, it would have been a bigger green day, etc. But the big point was like, hey, not taking too much risk and waiting for the right opportunities, So I'm curious to see how this will turn out today. We'll see.
Pretty good bullish day, I'll tell you that, at least starting it out. Apple looking hot, guys. AMD pushing strong. It looks like the tech names, man, are on that push.
And Enovix too is churning. So I'm gonna actually
MFI struggling in the 230s, guys. 230s struggling on MFI. We got up there again, guys. Didn't get to this profit take, but I think we're going to get cut out right here. We'll see what happens. I got 207 for the risk right now. I like this Apple. I wanted to come back into this spot. I think Apple... Remember, I was looking at the swing trade yesterday for maybe a move to 200. I feel like it's on a breakout. We'll see what happens there. TSM leading the market today on the upside, at least for the bigger names, right? This is a big boy stock, really getting a nice lift. Soxcel's another way to maybe play this and ride this. Yesterday's play, man, trying to buy that Soxcel. Whew, that thing's rocketing today. Semiconductors really strong. ARM, Marvell. There's a lot of tech runs. This is the tech run right here. I'm seeing it. AMD is one way that I was looking at maybe playing this. I could also look at not only semiconductors, but semiconductor equipment stocks. So now you're talking ASML. There you go. That's an interesting setup there for me. AMAT, LRCX, KLAC, those types of names. I'm going to keep an eye on it because if it's in everything running tech, I'll be looking for that to join the party.
So yeah, here's an example of that.
Out on MFI.
So I did grab the ENVX. That'll be my first trade of the day. I grabbed just 450.
There you go.
So I mentioned before I like to do the 150 lots. I'll use that and scalp the commissions. That's sort of the optimal way because I like to nerd out on that. But yeah, I'm looking at this. I'm seeing strength, and it's honestly like. I can feel it, and I'm a little bit sick. I'm not all there, so even more so, I'm like, oh man, I should just look at this. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm like, you know what? It's probably gonna pull back again. It's probably gonna thrash around in here. And besides, okay, I'll add on if it pulls back, and so if it comes down here, right, I'll end up at my sort of full position size that I'd be willing to take on this. If it doesn't, that's okay, right? If it shoots up. Well, you know what? I've made quick money. It didn't take a lot of work. The rest of my day is free. My capital's free. So there's more trades out there. But, and I told myself that. And then sure enough, it pulled back a little bit, I didn't have to worry because I wasn't like, full porting this thing right off the bat. Now, another one that looks like it's shooting up is GameStop. Mm-hmm. So... I don't know. What do you think about this? My bet is it manages to push up past here, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm looking at some potential swing trade in Palantir, but GameStop to me, it just seems like it's just too much of a gamble right now. I think I need to see it kind of stay above like kind of the 30 spot, then it'll start to work. But it's just huge drives and sideways action. Yep. That's where I kind of want to stay out because the truth is that sideways action at one point can just let go. GME says, you know what, we're doing another offering.
Yeah.
Next
not intraday, hopefully, but you never know. And And I think I am going to take
I don't even
this.
trust them. I don't even trust them on that one, Tim. I wouldn't, at least for myself. Here's one that just doesn't stop. And this is as short squeeze as it gets. NVAX. Holy moly, this thing just doesn't stop. It came from $4. And we're not talking about a smaller stock that has no volume. Look at the shares on this. This thing just doesn't.
Holy cow! I was gonna say, yeah, this is $20 now. Wow. Now I wish I'd held mine from.
That's a short squeeze right there. That's squeezing out all the short action.
You know, and you know what I was gonna say? I wish I held on to that in my personal account, but now with the Trade the Pool swing trading accounts, you could take a trade like that, and you could ride, for example, an NVIX. You could ride an NVAX, right? You could get in an NVAX at $4, and as long as you have a responsible position size, then you can just let that. I mean, from $4, I think you would have been good because it's just been up since then. But
smash the like, guys, on UAL Outlook today. Wasn't able to nail it. When I went back, I had the order out. I even have it still sitting. Let me actually cancel the order. But UAL, I had 5205. No fill on that. And hey, that's just how it goes sometimes, guys. But definitely UAL. Look at that decline today right out the gates. Looking good for me on my DAL trade. I could even add to this position today, but it's too far from my entry. It's not like CleanSpark where I'm just trying to buy off the bottom here and then hold. That's what I like on CleanSpark. I could even take a little bit more on CleanSpark, but I got to be smart and then hold the tighter risk. So this is the swing trade account, guys. So I need to put the account name here, so that'll help you guys out. But yeah, 2 accounts. Let's see what happens today on that one. MFI did give me a little bit of a loss, but I'm still up 119 based on the ASNS trade this morning. That's what I'm trying to do a little bit more. Try to take a little bit of a risk in the morning, maybe risk 50 to $100. See if I can get one of these morning movers, give myself a cushion on the day, and then go see what I find afterwards, right? I mean,
retail is just getting brutalized today. I was watching Target, obviously, you know, that's one of mine, but yeah, that's just down. Walmart down. Dollar Tree had a little pop, and now it gave that up, and it's just pushing the bottoms. Dollar General. What else?
Boom.
Did we have data today, or are we just continuing from last week?
Data at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. It's about to come in, guys. About to come in. Data today is going to be coming in right now, guys. I'll be watching to see what I can see on the tape, guys. We should get ISM going to be coming in here. Also some crude data at 10:30. So pay attention to oil around 10:30. That's going to be what I'll be watching right now. See when it comes in. You guys see it? Of course, if you guys see some jumps in the market, this will tell us a lot, right? So, all right, guys, risking about $30 on that swing trade on CleanSpark, and now I have 80 shares. So I think this is as good as it gets on the risk to return. I'm going to hang in on that swing trade, even though I'm down slightly. It's not much, and it's bottoming out for me on the chart, and I'm going to get after it. That's CleanSpark.
Now, NDRA, this is funny. This NDRA is funny. It, let's see, it popped, what did it pop? 87% this morning. Although that is just from it looks like they had an offering and they priced it. But this is, oh wow, there's a little baby stock.
SPY with a big wick down, guys. Be careful with stops. That can actually trigger stops on something like that. So just to mention, the SPY with a big move down and the Q's doing a big wick down to kind of stop some traders out. That's where you got to be a little bit careful with your stops. Let's see what happens now. TSM was one of the hottest stocks, so I'm looking at that one on the pullback right now and see if maybe it runs back to 162. It's had a hell of a day already. How's Apple on that pullback? Ooh, I like that space into the 195.50s.
Here's an interesting VIR.
All right.
Do you have any news on that? Anyone know what's going on with that one? peek
I
in.
saw some action in that one this morning. So ISM non-manufacturing for May at 53.8 versus a 51. So definitely higher on the ISM non-manufacturing. And then I'd look at global services PMI at 54.8 versus 54 point. Just want to get that one right. 54.8 also. So right in line there. It's kind of a scare down, at least it seems like to me. Starting to see some recoveries out there.
Now, Hood is interesting. It's still up. We're still up. Let's see. Is that a
The hood.
Yeah, we're still up a little bit, but that one's still going now. What do you think about that one? We had a dip, we had a V, but then we've got that sideways action.
Yeah, I'll take a look on that one. I actually have it on my scanner and my watch list. I don't think it's a bad one to watch for a continued grind higher off the 9 EMA. So you got that cup and handle pattern right off of that 2050 spot today. So to me, that undercut to 2050, good level to watch for it to hold all day. That 2050, that undercut right there, that's a nice level. That's how you shake traders out. So a move like this, what does it do? What it does is it's a common level to look at on the daily. Common level 2050 right around here. Shouldn't really kind of undercut that. That's the support right here. You can see these wicks, support right there, and it goes right to it and undercuts and recovers the 9 EMA. That's a lot of times what you see here. So like an undercut on this day, it went to a low of 1907, yet it closed where? At 2047, all the way up here. So these are the days that I look at for 9 EMA pullbacks on Hood. You could also see it on the hourly too. So you can see the hourly, the wicks here. That could be actually buying pressure on the pullbacks. Now you need to see it come back and take out trend lines on the top side of things. So a move that closes up here would look great for me. You could see it on the MACD too, how it's building, and trying to make that move back, right? So you see here, build, and now crossover. All right, looking around, trying to find some more trades, baby. Yeah. Palantir back to 22. I want to take a swing trade on this one, guys. Look at the daily chart on this. I've been watching this since how long? Look at that, created on the 29th. Looking for this to continue making a move. I've been waiting to see what would happen if it go into this space. It didn't. Now it curved. That's actually a good level to look at for me. Now I just want to see what happens on the volume side of things. And I would love a pullback into this space, this 22 to 2175 spot. All right, looking around to see what other making moves out there. If you guys see anything making a move, let me know.
So a couple of things here. So off of that data, I was looking at, for example, Target being one of them, and then I was looking at Dollar General. So I'm seeing what looks like attempts to come off of that, to have that be a bottom. But this feels a little trappy to me, so I'm not going to try to catch this knife here. And in fact, I saw, let's see if this is still happening. Walmart came up, kind of came back down, so it could be forming a base here. If you want to try to get, for example, on the retail sector, Target, Walmart, Dollar Tree, Dollar General, you know, it'd be, what is that, discount? Forget the category you said.
Discount stores. Yeah. Yep.
Let me look at Costco. But you know, if you do this, I wouldn't do huge size. I would be careful, because this could be a great entry, but it feels a little trappy to me. I don't know. Yeah. Costco showing more strength than the others, I will say. That's interesting.
Yeah, you're getting that, definitely that washout attempt here. Ollie is one of the ones that looks like the best in that breed today. Ollie's bargain outlet.
Ollie's bargain. I have never even heard. Is that a regional one or what?
Yeah, it's a regional one. It's in kind of South Florida. I know it's in
okay,
probably the Eastern. It might even be in the Carolinas. I think there's some in the Carolinas.
Yeah, you know, that reminds me. It's not
it's like a big. It's like a big lot.
Yeah, you know, it wasn't until I was in the Carolinas here, where I am now, that I heard about Piggly Wiggly. That's a
Piggly
regional one.
Wiggly. Yeah, that's a regional one too. It gets your attention, that name.
But yeah, look up, anyone's interested. Look up at the history of that one, because there's some really interesting stories around the stock there. The owner and some short sellers, and it's just great exchange skullduggery. So if you like that kind of story, make sure to check out. I think it's in the Wikipedia, and you can just read about it. But it's amazing.
Look who's here. I always love to see some new faces in the chat. It's always good to see you guys out there, and definitely smash the like. Hey, Jan, what's up, man? It's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a little while. Definitely smash the like, guys. It's good to see some new faces out here joining. Uptrend, what are you looking at? Gold, PAAS, EGO? Okay. What are you guys seeing out there, guys? If you guys just are enjoying the day, let us know. What are you guys trading? What are you guys getting after? I know I'm taking a look here to see what's going to happen in the overall market here, as it did do a little bit of a test the range move. So you see how we're just testing the range right now? That's where I get a little bit of, let the market play out right here. Which way are we going to go? Above 458 on the Qs or below 457.15s? This candle, I'm watching it.
Now, what I'm doing here is I'm just going through, I mentioned my watch list. So I went through the newsletter that I get every morning, the pre-market movers from Biofarm Catalyst. That's just one that I have. But I'm not seeing a lot of the ones that had actual news catalysts, at least that they found. A lot of these either don't have volume, or it's just these really small moves. Like this one, the NDRA is hilarious. They doubled. But it's from 8 cents to like 16 cents, if you want. But this is where, tuning it to the trade the pool program, if you short it, you need to get actually down past where it was to get past those 10 ticks, right? And I don't know if there's a lot of continued upside there. So this is a nice tight chart. It's interesting, but, and these other ones here, like this AVGR, these are all like, fairly wide spreads. It's just small moves, so not a lot of excitement there. And then looking in these names that are just from the pure screener. So this VIR is interesting. So I'm basically just going through looking for, that's how I do it. I look at my overview charts as a whole, look at the names that I'm following, and then looked at my sector stuff. But yeah, this VIR, it looks like they have a hepatitis. They had data on their hepatitis trial, and it says they announced new preliminary data from its hepatitis delta, not sure what that is, clinical trial, and generally well tolerated, high rates of virologic response. So that's good. And then also June 12th, they're going to participate in the Goldman Sachs. So put this on your calendars, folks. A lot of healthcare names probably. Goldman Sachs 45th Annual Global Healthcare Conference, Wednesday, June 12th. So, so this VIR is an interesting thing. But again, it popped up and it's just kind of sideways action. I'll look for confirmation here.
All right, guys. Just got a starter here in AMAT. AMAT to the long side here, guys. So I'm trying to get an average at 219 and then hold off the 218 level. I'll show you guys it right now. I just took a little bit. This is definitely a bigger trade here. This is day trade side of things. Let's see what happens. This is AMAT to the long side. Just got the starter at 219. Applied materials, man. So big thing is VWAP recovery on this one. It's had a 1, 2, 3 kind of shakeouts. I needed to recover at this point and then start working its way back through the 220s. The VWAP's right above it at 219.78. Take out the 221, and then we're starting to move on the hourly. I'd like this to start pushing back towards a 223. Daily chart has a little bit of a recovery, kind of a shakeout in the last couple of days. Would love to see it just run right here. We'll see what happens. Also watching, of course, TSM, stocks like that in play today. AMD in play. We'll see if these names can continue to run today and get that lift. Apple, another one that I'm watching as it just pulled back. All right, guys, and definitely seen a little bit of a shake in Clean Spark. I'm going to risk towards $40. Just always trying to let you guys know about the swing trade side of things as we go through the day trade side of things, right? All right, here's AMAT back towards the 29.50s. Now I could look for an ad at 29 to keep it going. I had the ad down there towards 218.40s. So I'm going to look to see if I can get a smaller pullback here. Get filled slightly below my entry still, 218.80s, and then start to hold towards the 218.50s. Need to start to push and get towards the next levels. Would love to see the Qs just rip back up there. A lot of selling pressure up there. All right, AMAT up a little bit here. See if we can get it to keep moving here.
So I'm trying this VIR. We'll see what happens.
All right,
to the long side on that.
Short report on Mara. Future day trader, I appreciate you. Mitch, you don't use Instagram, do you? Nah, I really don't, man. I had one back in the days, but I don't use it anymore. I need to maybe open it back up. How does shorting work on Trade the Pool? That is a great question, Kangaroos. I'll let you know exactly how that works coming up. Just give me a quick second to give this nice trade a chance here on AMAT, and then I'll go ahead and I'll cover that for you. All right, guys. So now that I got the crossover on AMAT, this is nice teaching moment here for you guys. So now I got a little bit of conviction on this play, right? Because I took the long based on would I get this crossover here, and now I actually have that crossover. So now I just want to see it kind of hold above that yellow line. It could even make a little bit of a pullback to it, but hold above that and start getting to where? This zero line. This zero line will get me that move to where it starts to get the bulls to take control again. Let's see if we can get that to expand back up here and take the move. Canceling my ad right now because I can, if anything, I can get out like kind of right underneath this. Just going to keep the 50 shares that I have right now. See if we just launch off here. Get it, launch off. Later today, 10:50, there's a launch for Boeing I'm going to be watching. I think this could actually cause the stock to lift today. It's been lifting, and I think a big part of that is their launch right now that's going to happen in Cape Canaveral. It's manned, and I think that's the important part. Manned ships definitely get focused a little bit more, and this would be the test that if they could complete it, they would probably get approval for their Starship to actually start doing some other kind of missions. So big day for Boeing today. That's why I think it's in play. Could be something that I could swing, but I'd probably end up closing this towards the end of the day if it just ripped. So I'm just keeping that in mind. UAL starting to come back here, move back to 52. You guys know it. Willing to hammer down on UAL. Land that puppy. NDRA, what's going on? Noli, you're out. Hey, enjoy it, my friend. Enjoy it. You're trading Thursday and Friday too. Well, guess what, Noli? I will be trading also. I know that we do trade the pool from every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, but stick with me, guys, at Money Bitch TP. I'll tell you guys all about my trading action tomorrow and Friday, and might go join my man on beginner trading. You guys got to always have friends that you support in the trading community. I feel like, there's too many communities out there, Tim, that are like, oh, no, I can't support another channel. What? Can't do that. I got to be, they're my enemies. No, man, come on. We're all here to have success. We're all here trying to push each other forward. And that's one thing that I think is so important in trading. There's enough of that out there. Don't need to join that party, right?
Well, it goes back to that discussion, right, about competition, like, are you, really your main competitor is yourself, and if you're in the market, if you're extracting capital from the markets, if you're, being profitable, if you're sort of fighting your own demons, that's where it is, and then beyond that, to me, it's like, hey, do these people give good advice? Do they, are they showing discipline? Are they bringing interesting insights or interesting news? And is their style interesting to me? People have different styles. I think 100%. For example, Mitch and myself probably very different. Personalities, different styles, but focused on the same the same thing at the end of the day.
Yep.
Speaking of
And
that, how are you doing
important.
so far? How many trades do you have open right now, if anything?
I got 3. I got 2 of the swing trades on, right?
Oh, there it is.
The
I
Clean
gotta
Spark,
make mine a little bit
Clean
bigger.
Spark, and DAL. And then I got AMAT on the day trade side of things. I took an early trade that got me to the point where I'm just kind of hanging out, right? I'm using my cushion, 117 on the day trade side of things, to just set up and get into setups, right? That's all I can do, right? I think it's so important. Got out there on the Clean Spark side of things, guys. So Clean Spark down on the first swing trade on that one. Did take a little bit of a hit there. Down about 40 on that one. Let me just make sure. I just want to confirm with you guys. Yeah, down about 42 on that one. So taking a little bit of a hit on the swing trade side of things. Overall, down about 60 on that account. But I do have DAL that's up about 60 on the unrealized, right? So essentially break even right now. We'll see what happens on that. And yeah, I heard there was a short report on Mara, so that definitely would ruin a trade on a swing trade, right? So definitely Clean Spark washed out a little bit today on me. AMAT setting up here for the move, hasn't really made the move here. So what I'm going to do here is probably add in just a second and then hold break even for the rest. So sometimes I can just step up to the plate a little bit and then just literally set the break even stop. If it just takes off on me, I have a great trade and it just starts to help me versus hurt me here. Let's see if I can get that. It's 29.50, starting to make a move a little bit here. So I'm going to look for like a 40 pullback here. And then just take the shot off of that.
I will say it looks like GameStop, and it's holding up all the rest of the long side in my portfolio here. It looks like it pushed up there, and it looks like it is trying to catch here again. So it could be another potential entry to the long side here, but it's another back test for sure.
All right, gonna go ahead and try to add here on AMAT and go for the swing. If I get the fill on the pullback, it'll be at 38s. Already starting to get in my favor at least, so that's not a bad thing here. Now I just needed to start kind of taking off. FSLR showing up on my scanner here, so that's making a little bit of a move, guys. And of course, what scanner am I using? It's of course our partner Trade Ideas. You guys know where it's at. Look at that. Always hanging out here, guys. You guys can see some hot stocks there: AMD, Qualcomm, HPE, STX, NVIDIA showing up. And what do I see there? A lot of semiconductors and AMAT, LRCX. Looks like the semiconductor equipments are starting to wake up. All right, stock already moving in my direction, so I'm canceling the limit buy there because at this point, I'm just letting the stock work now in my favor. And you guys can see it moving here, now up about 45. I only got 50 shares. Wanted to get the 100 shares, right? Because then this would be already like up like 90 to 100. But look at that, 220s comes faster than you know it. This is the big spot for the VWAP to start to hold. Now I could see pullbacks to the 90 MA, but nothing lower than that. 219.50s. Once it start to approach 220.75s, that's going to be the first sell. And then I'll look for the 221.75 to the top end of the range. Can you still show a short demo later on? Yeah, Paul. What do you want to see? Right. I know that someone asked about shorting. So at 10:30, I'm going to take a little bit of time to address questions from you guys. Any other question? We're here for you guys. Let us know.
And I will say, I mean, I shorted Carvana earlier, and it was literally, I don't remember if I had my screen up, but I literally just hit the sell button.
Yeah, I heard you.
So. We talk about availability and everything, but the execution's real simple.
Yeah, Nike with a big pullback there, Eldon. Nike looks like it might be going back to yesterday's low of the day. Would go long at 92.50s. All right, I like that mentality at least. And that's kind of catching the dip there. We'll see if we're able to get that to start moving back. Stock that's staying strong is Chewy out there, man. Chewy. All right, let's go ahead. Let's set up for some of this sell, right? So I have 50. I'll do 25 here, setting it up at 220. 220.75, right? So let's go ahead. I always say if I say 75, why not put out like 72 or 71? Because to tell you the truth, 3 pennies ain't gonna make too much of a difference on 25 shares. So I always tell myself, okay, Mitch, you wanted this, put it slightly underneath that. That helps control my greediness, right? That's really what it's about. And so I try to control it.
It's always there though, right?
Oh yeah. It's there. I think every trader has it. It's more, can you keep that beast tamed down, right? Here's 62 on the offer. Let's see if we get it here, guys. Let's go. Come on. Fill me. Give me that money. Ooh, you see it starts turning around right when you talk about it. Don't talk too loud, Mitch. Let's go, Matt. Let's get it. I like to play a little music sometimes, see if it maybe starts moving.
Nice. So let's do this. Put a little...
All right, here, guys. So watch, I'm going to slightly move it. I'm going to move it up there, 221. I'm actually moving it up here so I can maybe get a little bit off the offer right here, a little bit of ways away. Look like I'm a little bit higher up, wanting to take the 221. As I pop back through the 220s, 60s on the offer, I can throw it out on the bid side once I see the bid get towards my levels. So that's what I'm looking at now. So a lot of the times I'll be watching this, right? So you can see the 58s to 50. I'm looking for 70s to show up here on the bid so I can get out on the bid side in an immediate action. Could pull back to the VWAP here, which is 219.75s. I'm keeping that in my head, right? That is still a possibility here. That would be for like the cup and handle pattern. So it'd pull back to the 9, then take the next leg. Always got to keep in mind what's the pullback look, what's the look that if I was trying to join the party, that would be the kind of look that I'd look at. Chewy staying strong in the Qs. Back up, Susie Q. Don't you do it to him. Don't you do it. Look at that. Wicks down on that 10 number and then right back up. Energy. About to get that 1030 number, guys, and XOM is bottoming around here. The only thing I'm a little bit concerned is when that energy number, that there's wicks and it gets to stop out on the downside. But I'm keeping an eye on these names for a comeback here as that release comes out, and all of a sudden it just starts to grind higher. Swing trade would be on Valero, and it would be risking off this 153 kind of bottoming area where you have this trend line that goes up. So risking off to that area, looking to buy it for the break back, like let's say 156, 155, risk down to that 153. I like to have the mentality, the trade plan way before the action happens, because the truth is, if the action happens, you're going to have to think about your levels there. All right, there you guys have it there. Let's go to AMAT here. AMAT, there it is, 76 on the offer. Boom. Take it out, baby. Pay myself there. 2078 there, guys. Let's go. Sound that alarm. You guys know where you're at. It's Trade the Pool, guys. Smash the like. You know what it's all about, guys. And sometimes you're going to go ahead and take that money bag with you, guys. Let's go. Walk and take it with us. Let's go. We're moving. Hey, Matt, do you want to keep it rocking? Let's go. Let's see if we can get to the high of the day and I can sell it all out and run like I never did before. All right, 2091s now. Nice little takeoff. And what was this all about? It was playing the semiconductor run, but playing it with semiconductor equipment pullback. So the equipment stocks is what I was looking at. And I was looking at all the leaders, ASML, AMAT, LRCX. Look at these stocks starting to come back. This is why I pay attention to sector and industry moves more than one stock. One stock puts me on alert. TSM. Oh, man. Semiconductors are moving strong today. This is the leader in this space. Should keep pushing, right? Let's taking a look. AMD continuing to push. These are the type of plays that I look for, guys. All right, guys. And like always, we do have a competition coming up. I'll be a part of the competition. My account's already ready to go, guys. Check it out. Join now. Hit the link, guys, in the description below. Join the competition. And of course, check out the swing trading accounts if you haven't done so already. I'm still taking swings out here. UAL might come back here, guys, especially with the market kind of pushing. I will be looking to take a short coming up, guys. All right, and keep throwing up those questions. Remember, I said at 10:30, I'd take some questions from you guys, whether they be trading, strategy involved, whatever it may be. I'm going to take a second for my trading to answer questions for you guys. Paul, don't worry. That's the great thing of showing you what I do, Paul, which is it seems like you've had some issues with the order form, hitting the wrong buttons and things like that. And I will even show you guys it here in the chat.
I've actually got this. It's too bad. So yeah, the partial exits, I can show this. I actually just had this execute on ARM. So I took profit
I'm putting you up
a third of my position there. But say that I wanted to do this. So if you want to do partial exits, number one, if you're not on the Discord, I encourage you to get on the Discord. We do have group trading on there where we can do more interactive, and we do have some videos on this. We have a whole terminal walkthrough channel, but I'll just show real quick because there's you can go crazy with different ways you can do this, but the simplest way is, I can hit the control key. I can just say, hey, you know what? Take another, I like to put it on these lines. There you go. So that'll take off 50 shares right there. If I want to get a little bit fancier, I can use the OCOs. So I've got my position's 150 shares right now. So I can say here, take it off there, but put a stop loss there. And I can put sort of nested brackets. So the platform is great for that. It allows me to be real quick. And then if I want to put a trailing stop on, now that it's moved up a little bit, I just toggle that. So yeah, it's pretty much literally that simple. You hold down control and you click where you want it to be. There's a bunch of different things you can do in addition to that, and ways you can exploit that for different strategies. So let me see if there's any of these others that have a good place to do that. I'll do this with BHC as well. And here, what I want to do is I'm going to put these out here. So I already did this. So at that 10 ticks out, right? So I'm going to start taking profit there, and I'm going to scalp a few off here. I've got 1,500, so I'm going to take them off in chunks of 150. So I'll just close these so you can see. And again, this is a long position. So I can I go in here, I go mouse trading. Left click puts buy orders. I'll do this. Left click puts buy orders. Right click puts sell orders. So if it's on this side of it, right, a buy is going to be a stop. When it hits up here, it'll add on. Or right click would make a limit order and it'll sell as soon as it gets up here. So I'm going to go here, and I entered at, let's see. I entered at 626. So I'm going to start having sells at 636, 7, 8. And I'm not bothering with OCOs on that, but in principle, you'd want to do that if you want to be able to be hands off. That way, you don't have the risk of your position closing out and the orders being left on the table. Hopefully, that answers your question. Let me go in the chat here and see.
All right, guys. I'm seeing the action out there. A lot of action going on, and different stocks making a big move. So catch it out there. Palantir still on the radar. Let's start catching up some chats. So we already addressed one question there. Paul, if you have any other question there, definitely throw it up in the chat. And I did see earlier, how do we short stocks? Well, we just literally short it, right? It's as simple as that. If it's tradable, you're going to be able to come after it. Like, let's say if I wanted to, and look at this, guys. Look at Clean Spark now. This thing's just rocketing right back. We'll see what happens on that one if it's able to hold the push move back. But let's say GME. If I wanted to short GME, I could short it up here at the 30s. Literally just going through it, sell. You can put the limit out there and get after it. That's all you literally need to do. Like, let's say UAL. You don't need to go and borrow shares. You don't need to do things like that. And that's the thing that I love about trade the pool. You don't need to go do some locates. You can just get after it.
Yep.
So as
And
simple
the
as
only
if it's tradable, you can get shortable.
Yep. And the only distinction is on the funded accounts, right? With Trade the Pool. In that case, if on the back end, if the system can't find, if it can't locate shares to short, then you'll just see the order won't be filled. But you can just feel free to give it a try, and you'll either get that or you'll need to look for a different opportunity. On the evaluations, though, you can short anything you like, because right there, it's, if you've got the skills, it's just, you can show what you got. You don't need to worry about the mechanics as much there.
All right, here's a classic pattern here that I can take here, guys. This is Stitch Fix, guys, and it's kind of holding in here. You can see how it's holding in what would you call this? This is a symmetrical triangle, right? Because it's very symmetrical in the top and the bottom, right? But you also got the rule of three into play here. An up one, a down one, an up two, a down two, and up three. And now I'd look for small pullbacks into the left of the high. So I usually look for, like, let's say right here, it'd be the 47s and 45s on pullbacks. So anything into this spot, I look to go ahead and take a shot off of. Why? Because you have a bullish engulfing candle, right, on the 5 and the 1. So multi-time frames show me that, yeah, you're starting to get bulls in it. And I'm looking for pullbacks. Why? Because the 9 EMA strategy, which is buy on pullbacks towards that light blue line, and then look for the momentum to carry through. So this is just one way that I love to break down different strategies, guys. Even if it's not a strategy that I'm going to use, one thing is, we talked about this in the event on Monday, right? You got to have what? Different things in your tool belt, man. What's your playbook like? These are all the types of things that are important to keep an eye out for. And just to mention on AMAT, oh, look at this, guys. Look at that. Oh, it just hit. Oh, I wanted to show it to you. It just hit it there, guys. Full profits out there on that breakout on AMAT. Yes, not a bad move at all for 50 shares up there to 222. We got it right over here, guys. Look at that little takeoff. And a lot of that on the semiconductor equipment stocks just making a move here. And so you got other names there that are in that space, like let's say Ambarella, that are making a move. But ASML is another one that I was looking at. It was just expensive. This is $1,000 stock. Look at that push right back to the upside there. Kind of a cup and handle look on it now. And AMAT, big push there. LRCX, big push. And that tells me, TSM, did you do it? Oh, it did do the VWAP bounce. We were looking at that pullback. Look at TSM. Nice high move. So definitely technology leading the day and really kind of swinging things around there. So technology with a big run, basic materials, big reversal. And earlier we talked about maybe would the industrials turn around. CAT. Let's see if this can make the move now back to 330s. Keeping an eye out there, team. Having a good day, though.
Yep. So if you want to flip over to me here, I can show real quick the question about hotkeys. So if you like your hotkeys, what you want is the scalper. Now, I was waiting until it could be on screen, so I kind of missed an entry there. It's seeing that push on VIR. But say I wanted to add on, so I can pick my preset sizes. These are all configurable.
Ooh.
And
I see that VIR.
So I just hit the arrow key. It just added a limit order on there, which you can see on the chart.
Yeah, I like that.
And you can tune these. You can tune the offsets. You can tune all this stuff. So boop, just got to fill.
There you go, Tim.
60 seconds, obviously. But so yeah, so this is set up here on these. You click to change between these quantity settings. You can have multiple scalpers with different quantities for, different size ranges of stocks or whatever. And I can here, I can just buy, I can open or close my whole position. I can add on 150 shares at a time. I can take off 150 shares at a time. And that is all tunable. There are a ton of settings here. I'll just show. It'll also show you impulse indicators based on indices that you like. So my normal setup, I have like SPY, IWM, the Qs, showing what the market as a whole is doing, but you can tune. There's so much stuff you can tune. So again, we talk about that on the Discord. We've got videos already in terminal walkthroughs. So I just say, yeah, read the user manual is probably the first step. And then if you've got any questions. And somehow I think, so be careful of, I clicked too quickly. So a double click on the positions list does close the position. I think I clicked twice in succession on VIR. What do you think? Should I re-enter? Should I give this I'm gonna try for this. I'm gonna go bigger.
You're looking at that VIR, right? I mean, it doesn't look bad. What I like is so I like stocks that go sleepy if it's an important stock to watch. Like this stock moves fast, right? But if you just watched it for like 20 minutes, you probably fell asleep. And now it could wake up while you fell asleep. And so I look for these all the time. And where do I look them? I look them on the hourly, because if you look at the 1 minute, this doesn't even look like that sexy. But you look at the hourly, and it's just green candles up. As long as the trend hasn't changed, it doesn't change for me. Now that's 225 on pullbacks. What do you see in this bunch up? 225 is a support. So that's a lot of what I'd be watching on VIR.
I think your screen, if you're pointing to stuff, I'm not.
No worries. I wanted to keep yours up so that they can watch the trade there. But at the same time, you see this 225? Watch here. When we zoom back on the hourly, you see hourly green bars, right? So as long as the trend stays higher lows, higher low trend, that'd be a pullback to maybe 213. And there's the 260 little spike there for VIR. So it's holding the pullback on that hourly to just continue the trend. So this body closed. I like that body closed to hold and continue higher. Now does it want to take out the 1309?
Yep.
That's kind of the next
Here is even
spot.
that push. So if you flip back, I'll show another feature here.
Boom. Let's do it.
I've got these, so I can just do boop. So it's already, I can see that it's made more than 10 ticks here. And now I just let it go. I just hit this button and it placed that there. So that's not a hotkey per se, but I've got my sizes preset, and I've got, you know, buy, sell, bid, ask. I just do this. So if it, it's a little wiki. So we'll see what happens, but it'll scalp that if it comes back up there. So another way you can do those quick trade moves. But yeah, generally if I place my trades, like say I want to have some scalps right here, I can just go like literally that fast to set those up. Same with the brackets. So
all right, team, not looking too bad out there. Looking around, I'm trying to find another trade, so definitely smash the like, guys. It's 10:38. Who will make more profits today? I see a vote out there. The battle's on, guys. Hit the like button out there. We're having a great show. Let's keep it going.
Now the one question is, so what size account are you? So yours is the swing one, right?
Well, I have both, right? I have three ready for me right now. I have the day trade. I have and the swing trade account, right? So I have two different accounts there. So of course I have the extra buying power for the day trade, and I have the super buying power for the swing trade side of things.
All right. So for this morning, you're working in both of them, right? You have some stuff going on in the day trade. Okay.
Yeah. So what I did, and I think this is important, right? Because I know a lot of traders are probably going to have to go through this. Tim, is like, how do I have both accounts ready? So what I did here, and I'll detach so I can show you guys it. Let me just pull it into the screen here. So on a separate order box, right? All I did was just hit the box, make a new order box. This one's the swing trade account, the one with the E on it, right? And so I have the account selected for this one. I have two orders for my swing trade one. And on the right hand, on this one, I'll have my day trade side. And I'm separating it by screens. So I definitely know where it is, right? Because if I put them right next to each other, I'll probably make a mistake. So instead, I have them on different screens. Day trade over here, swing trade on my middle screen right in front of me. So this helps me. And then another thing is have a chart. And remember that on our charts itself, you can also select the account. So in this case, like there's the day trading, the 13 one, right? But if I change this over to the E one, and then I went to like, let's say clean spark, look how you can start to see the on the chart, right? And so let me go to the 5 so you can see the action. You see here, the action, right? And so just make sure that you're having one chart. What I did here is I have one chart with my swing trade one chart that is attached to the day trading side. This one's attached to the day trading side by using the symbol link yellow and yellow on my order box, right? So I'm not going to make the mistake there. My other one is red, and then the chart is red, right? And so color coding is going to definitely help you guys. If you guys have any questions on how to best maybe set up, or maybe you need help setting up your platform, Tim and I, we're more than willing to help you guys. Reach out to us. We'll try to help you set it up. If you have any questions on setup, reach out to us. At the end of the day, we're here to have you guys get to that success and help you guys learn the features that can get you there.
Yep. And come on the Discord too. Like never, that's 24/7.
Yeah, Tim,
someone might not be there, but you can always throw your question in there. We've got events too where we do this. So real quick, if you throw mine up, I'll show one other thing. Really quickly, I do want to address Gerard's question. I told him I'd answer it, so let's go ahead and let's maybe address this one question here. How do you trade without tools like Trade Ideas? As a beginner who doesn't have a budget for subscription with Trade Ideas or similar tool, what do you suggest? Well, there's a lot of free tools out there, right? They're just not going to be the fastest, right? That's what I'll tell you. There's a reason why I use Trade Ideas. There's a reason why I have different paid services. Why? I want fast, I want speed, I want reliability. Now, when I start going to those free programs, what's going to happen a lot of the times is that's going to go down. So you just got to understand that, Gerard. It's okay. There's plenty of different services out there. I'm not going to act like Trade Ideas is the only one. There's plenty out there that are free, but they're just going to be delayed. Like data's 15 minutes back, right? So does that help you as a day trader? Probably not, right? Let's be honest, Tim. If I only could see 15 minutes, and I can only see it into the past, well, that's not really going to be too much that's going to benefit me. So that's what I always talk about. You got to pay to play this game. So I think if you're a brand new beginner, it's okay to learn and then start doing the paid accounts and doing the paid services. It's okay. Get something under your tool belt first. But at the same time, I always say that my best tools, they're paid. I have to pay up, man. That's just what it is. And the data feeds as well. So I would, and that actually ties into it. The question from Shane there.
Okay.
So I was just gonna say, yeah, I pay for data on like 3 different platforms too, just for different things. So I've got a TradingView. I've got data feeds. I've got Moomoo. But look out for promotions too. Like Moomoo has a thing right now where the NASDAQ stuff is free for 3 months, I think, etc. But yeah, on the question there, a question on the bid ask spread, where the spread's different on TradingView. And that's just that Trade the Pool. So remember, everything on Trade the Pool is happening inside the simulator. That's where your performance is gauged on. Trade the Pool, when you're in a funded account, may decide to take that to the market. And the simulator is all based on the NASDAQ total view feed. So that's showing one exchange, it's showing one set of bid asks. So it's possible NASDAQ has generally the tightest or some of the tightest, but it's possible you could have a narrower spread, including other venues. So that's just why that is. So if you look at, and there Valerie Boogie Woogie is saying trading terminal. That's a good one. Free scanners, news, etc. Yep.
What do you use for journaling? We have a service that can help you with that, right? So I'll go ahead and I'll get you guys the link on that. But you can use plenty of different services. Just try to find something that can benefit you and that you can keep up with. That's the important thing, right? Okay, can you keep up with it? And another thing is, remember that on Trade the Pool, you actually have some trading statistics provided for you, right, with the platform, right? So you don't have to go crazy. You can just use the platform and just kind of go off of that right now. And so account statistics is so important. So definitely take a look into your account statistics and keep up with the edge in the math. I'm trying to pull up some statistics for you guys in a little bit. I'll kind of show you guys it before we wrap up. I'm looking around trying to make another trade here, guys. I've had a great day. I'm up 206. I'm ready to take some more trades here. Now we're starting to get that kind of pullback opportunity again. So I'm looking to see how those opportunities show up here. Even AMAT, right? I sold it into the rip, but I sold it at where? 222.55. We're right back to 222. I can see it going back to this 221 spot. and then maybe catching a little bit of a lift. So I'm going to be watching for pullbacks there. How's Apple doing? Did it get the take? No, it didn't. Trading View. That's one of the best ones, Jan. Definitely.
Yeah. So one other thing, if we have a lull here for a second, if you can flip back over to mine, I'll show.
Go for it, Tim.
So I do have some. I'll set up sometimes a dual view where I'll have stuff on the left and on the right for my two accounts. But one other trick, if you do want to truly just flip between them, you can just toggle this little thing here, and then when you select an account, it moves everything at once. All your charts, everything just flip over. So if you're mainly in one, like if your swing trading is truly in the background, or you're looking at that on a different machine, right? You might have it on your mobile device or a different computer set up for your swing stuff, and then you can just toggle this on and you're sure everything is going to the one account. And if you like, you could even set up a panel, and that way you can just keep an eye on multiples. So it can be back to you.
All right, guys, looking around and looking at UAL. I'm trying to let this climb back to 5190 so I can get shorted a little bit later in the day. But looking around, guys, trying to make some more trades out there. If you guys have been enjoying the stream, let us know. Hit the like, and like always, the number one way that you guys out there can do me the favor is you see right down below. See that share button? We need some more traders in here to build the community that can truly support. Of course, reach out to those traders that, support you also. That's what I like to do. So definitely smash the like. It's good to see some names in the chat today. Like I'm seeing some names that have come over, right? Jan, Smoke Tuna. It's good to see you guys out there. It's definitely what I look for. And I want you guys to have some support. Eldon throwing up trades ideas like this. This is what it's all about, because it gives me the whole perspective. What are you looking at? And it helps other traders, not just yourself. That's what we're all here for too, is to help each other get to success. I want to see you guys succeed. You guys want to see me succeed. Let's keep pushing forward. Let's get to the next level.
Gerald's game, one note. Yeah, everything in Trade the Pool is real time though. So all this stuff here, the watch list, the level 2, everything here. So it is NASDAQ, it's on the NASDAQ exchange, but everything is real time. So you're seeing live up to the minute. If you pull up a NASDAQ feed on the market and you put up Trade the Pool, everything's going to be pretty much identical.
Pakar. This is what I was looking at earlier for the kind of the run. So we'll see what happens with this one.
I wanted to throw one other thing out too, just on in terms of having the multiple accounts available. So be aware of the copy trading rules. So if you have the accounts up side by side, you'll want to make sure that you wait 30 minutes after you enter on one before you enter the same trade on the other. Now there are a couple account sizes that are exceptions, where there's exceptions made to that, where you can just, there's no time delay, but just be aware of that. Make sure to check those rules, because you don't want to just load up a bunch of day trading accounts and just be firing off the same trade across all of them. That's not the idea. But you can use it, if you have a swing trade going in one, and then you can day trade in the other. And as long as you're not just jumping in doing the same thing at the same time, you wait that 30 minutes to set them up, you're fine. And you can also use it for different portfolios. So I'll do that. I'll have multiple accounts. I'll have, different strategies, different portfolios, different things like that. So,
yeah, I think it's important to mention that. And I think another way to go about it is kind of the way that I was doing today. I was trying to short an industry name, but short another industry name, right? So essentially going after the similar trade, but different vehicles. Right? That's what I would be looking at. There's nothing wrong with doing that. I think that's actually smart if you feel that your trade idea is working, right? And so essentially I'm trying to gain the alpha from the swing. Let that continue to work. I'm not touching that name, but I'll touch another name in the space and maybe try to ride the momentum, right? There's nothing wrong with that too. And then for some reason, sometimes you're going to see that, hey, maybe one comes out with a catalyst just that day, and maybe you want to play it long for a little while and continue to swing short. That can also be a play, right? I know it sounds crazy, but There's going to come a time when I could maybe do that also. Tesla breaking 175. Oof. Yeah, that's a tough one, man. I think Tesla's going to have some problems right now, man. Elon just keeps doing decisions that are going to disrupt the way that's working, man. The whole chips thing yesterday, I ain't going to make your investors happy. Clean Spark coming back, guys, now to 1622. So could have been just that I got washed out into that short report. And if I got washed out into a short report, what can you do, really, right? I mean, that's just life, man. We'll see what happens there on Clean Spark. It is starting to come back. Even Mara is starting to come back. They got the short report. All right, let's keep it going, team. Dell starting to pull back a little bit. I'm looking at this one as an afternoon short. Why? Because you see the resistance here. It just seems to kind of make sense for it to start breaking down through that 134, but not really the biggest stock for me. Looking at First Solar, that thing's just hanging on there.
Gerald's gave me your follow-up question. Why use data from Trade Ideas or just use the watch list? So it's funny you mentioned MT5. So I have done Forex and futures and things like that. I can't stand MT5 just personally. Yeah, so I would always, even when I'm doing Forex, I would always have the charts up in something else. For example, that would let me have sub-minute charts. And more advanced candles, things like that. So for example, TradingView, you can do like a million different, you got volume candles now and all this kind of stuff. But it's really just what kind of tools are available. I mean, if you like the charting, like I love the Trader Evolution platform. If you like the charting tools that are in it, and you don't need analysis or indicators beyond that, great. If you want more advanced scanners, if you want so for example, I use it for my options trades, but you can also use that to figure out key levels that the market might be looking at, is a option strat, and same thing there. You got to pay if you want it to be not 15 minutes delayed. That enables a bunch of other features, and you can use that to form advanced strategies. So it really just depends. Everything is in here. If you were doing this from Forex and you were in MetaTrader and you're like, hey, there's everything I need, you'll probably be completely happy just inside Trader Evolution and not pay a penny on top of it. But if you want to get like, the squawks, where you got somebody reading the news to you kind of real time, just in your ear, if you want, real-time data feeds from all the exchanges, and you want, what else? You want kind of all these fancy analytics tools people are building. They want to get paid for those. So yeah, that's the difference.
It ain't free to play, man. That's the truth.
But you can just do everything, and I would encourage that too. Like, jump in, and I would say get comfortable with the free trial. You can do a free trial on Trade the Pool. Get comfortable with that. Do the competition. So there's a great chance to do the free trial, practice, do the competition, practice with maybe a little more real stakes, and then go ahead and sign up for a actual paid evaluation. And if you find yourself, missing tools, or there's a tool you see someone using and you're like, that would really enhance my own trading, give that a try. But I wouldn't go out spending money just to spend the money either. Don't think, oh, I want to be a professional trader, I need to be spending like a professional trader. Find what works for you.
It needs to benefit you, literally. Like, it needs to help the way that you trade. And that's another thing. The way you trade is going to depend on what services you really need. That's the truth. And so you have to first find the way you want to trade, right? If you don't have that answer, then you're just kind of spending money, right? So know the way that you want to trade, know what supports you. Like right here, you guys see me using a service right here. I pay for this charting. I can use Trade Ideas.
Was it TC2000?
Yeah, TC.
Yeah, a lot of loyalists on that one.
It's exactly that, Tim. It's loyal. It works for me. And guess what? I can do a whole market analysis on one page. So if I only had this one screen that you guys see, I can tell you what's going on in the market. That right there is edge for me. In my thinking, that's what I like to do. I like to know sectors and industries. So why not use what I think is the best service and giving me what? They give me equally weighted indexes that they've created that benefits me because I like to know this. I like to know that solar is the leading up move in technology today. So solar names are actually leading the action in tech, but of course it's not the heaviest weighted in some techs, but it tells me that there's a strong move in some solar names today. And then I look into solar, Nova up like not 7-8%. So you see, I can catch moves like this, right? So hey, unfortunately, you got to pay to play. All right, Tim, I'm going to do a quick little recap and then we'll start wrapping it up today. I'm already missing the launch, so I haven't heard it take off. So there might be a delay on that Boeing launch. Let's go ahead. Let's do a little daily recap. All right, guys, you guys see the action right here on my field orders. The first one was this morning at 404, looking for that ASN. You can see here, 443 sell. Then I bought back at 424s, sold some more at 445, was just playing with it, looking for the big run. It didn't take off, but I still was able to make a nice little cushion on the day. MFI was the one that I did take a little bit of a hit on the pullback there, but all measured out there, so not going to be mad about that one. And then the big win on the day is an AMAT. Not a bad one at all either, at least sense-wise. This was the best one today. Big lift off there in AMAT. And what was that all? We talked about it. Semiconductors strong. Why not looking for me? I'm looking at what? Semiconductor equipment. This is called the leaders to laggard type of trade where the leaders start to take off. And then I'm looking for lag type of action. I looked at the space. ESML was one of the leaders in this space, right? Was pulling back and not actually looking the most bullish. I mean, it had that pre-market run. So it was just bought off of that resistance in the pre-market, took right back to the next levels. We'll see if semiconductors can continue today. And of course, the swing trade side of things, DAL continuing to work. UAL was one that I was looking to short today, but was not able to capitalize on that trade in the day trading side of things. But hey, you're going to win some, you lose some. And the number one thing that gets me, guys, is missing opportunities. And I will let you guys know some of my tendencies throughout the journey. Sticking here with me, guys, lets you guys know also what affects me. You got to know what's the number one thing that you get upset about. For me, that's missing plays. And what I tell myself is, hey, there's an infinite amount of opportunities in this market. You don't need to get upset about just one. All right, Tim, and you want to wrap up? What did you got for us today, Tim?
Yeah, so I still have some stuff floating there, but yeah, total. This is on the ultimate, so this is the 260K day trading. So I've got about 40 realized and another 200 or so unrealized. So yeah, VIR, the big winner there. Definitely glad I went back in on that one. You can see I've got some more take profits and some partial stops on there. GameStop continuing to go. What was the big loser? Carvana, I guess, is still pushing, or it was. Had a loss on that. And the others are just puttering around, so we'll see how those go. The shorts definitely did not pan out so far today for me, but we'll see if that keeps up for the day.
Hey, what I like there is I see a little bit of a mix, and that's what's important too. You're not just playing one direction. I love to see it. And you guys are seeing there, Tim, multiple positions open and managing them, which is, of course, the number one. All right, like always, Tim, thanks for sticking around today, man. It was great to see you.
Once always. I got into it, I'm like, you know what? This is, I mean, I'd be trading. If I can sit up, I'd probably be, or I don't even need to.
You're like me. You're like me. I got a root canal one day, and then I was back trading within an hour. So that's just the way it is. Actually, I didn't do that bad that day. I did a quick in and out, and I was like, all right, Mitch, you're asking for it today. I was there like I couldn't even open my jaw, couldn't even speak, but I'm like, I'm going to trade, right? That's how it is, guys.
The flip side to the dentist, like he's got your mouth. How'd things go this week? He's trying to drill in there. You're like, hold on, doc. I just got it.
Yeah, I was telling the doctor, I was like, yeah, are we almost done? Because I got to get back to trading. All right, guys, we're going to keep battling with you guys right here on Trade the Pool. Like we've talked about, there's a competition that's starting on Monday. I will be trading that here live with you guys. You guys will see me take some big boy positions, so stick around for that. We'll be back on Monday. And let me know, guys, do you guys want to see more of us right here on YouTube every day? I want to be here with you guys. Smash that like. Thanks, Tim, again for joining us today. We will keep battling.
Love it.
That's what it's all about. Tim's battling. I'm battling. You out there, keep battling. Be safe in the markets. We'll see you back on Monday and keep battling. Also, let me know in the comments. I keep asking you guys. I want to see more comments today. What do you want to see more on this show? And what do you want to see less? I'll see you guys in the chat. Let's keep it going right here. It's Trade the Pool.